She's one of the beings in the world for unknown reasons was kind of born with telekinetic power. In a horror-ish type of nature like this, we need somebody with some abilities. Respect 11. Imagine just living your life with your friends, living a kid life normally until you find out there's another dimension just like ours. It's similar to our dimension, but with no people and monsters living there, which adds a horror element to the show. But luckily, there's a faction of the government that's aware of this spooky stuff, and they have been experimenting on different children that have abilities of psionic nature, experimenting who's the best. One of the best ends up being 11. They would literally have telekinetic tug of wars who's got more output or raw power in telekinetic type abilities. And out of all the subjects, she actually ended up being the number one out of all of them. Even back then, she could precisely grab stuff, even if it's small stuff. Pretty much one of the main characters of the show, and without her, they would be in trouble against these entities from this other dimension, the Upside Down. I'm not even considered heavy in the horror genre, but I like the fact that the humans in this universe are not completely defenseless against this monster, and 11 is considered the powerhouse and pretty much the last hope against these different creatures she has to fight thanks to her telekinetic psionic abilities. It's cool having our little Jean Grey or Psylocke in this universe to put the hands on these monsters. Even the monsters don't want no smoke from her. She can attack them from far range. Respect 11. Throughout the series, she's done a lot of different psionic abilities, but how strong is she? Oh boy. While it is true 11 from the Stranger Things is very powerful, the writers have made it very clear she can't spam her power or do it for an unlimited amount of time. The more she uses her power, it is a psionic type thing, so it does work her inside of her head quite a bit. She does get actual nosebleeds, so she can't just spam this all day. She needs a little cool-off period to get some time to recuperate or recharge her power for quite a bit, but she can still use it for a very long time. She can lift up stuff way heavier with her mind than stuff she can actually lift up with her actual muscles. Light work stuff like bending cans she can do. Even has the strength to freeze a guy's entire body and make him pee himself. Even catch you while you're floating on a cliff this high. She can even force push you or target individual joints and break your arm like that. She's one of those characters where you can't prove how they die. Like, yeah, she will just go through your head and do that to you. All y'all at the same time get dropped. Even her blast power can do stuff like that under times of extreme danger. Against this first Demogorgon in the first season, when she was still relatively young, she just completely overpowers it to where it can't even really do anything. Of course, this put a lot of strain on her. This was satisfying, I'm not gonna lie. Helpless in the face of 11. Power. Part of him was battle damage because of being burned and stuff. This is where you get an idea of how destructive her capacity is, on how she was able to blast this thing apart when she actually decided to go all out, disintegrating it and accidentally blasting herself to another dimension. Going into the upside down dimension. Yeah, that's the hole. Rips a bigger hole into it and gets back out into our dimension. Can blast you so hard to crack the wall. Her psionic ability is so crazy that even when grown men try to overpower her, they can't. If she doesn't want something to be moved, that it ain't being moved. Blasting the house apart like that. Lifting up big stuff like this is easy for her. And you ain't gonna lock her out of the house. If she don't want to be locked out, she coming in. When she went on a journey of self-discovery, she was even able to pull stuff that big. Yes. Progress over time, right? Letting you know how strong she really is. And she can do almighty pushes. Or one could say even force chokes. Like this. She's the reason at the end of season 2 they was even able to succeed. She kind of even levitate, sealing up the portal from another monster. She uses her abilities to play a prank on her friend to make all his toys seem alive. That's freaking hilarious. Had them going in a straight line and everything. When one of the monsters had mind control over a being, she was able to lock him in there like this and blast him with them weights like that. Even though this being was pretty strong, she was still able to do that to him through the brick wall. That gives you an idea of how hard she can blast. Can blast doors off his hinges to slam monsters to the side like this, where they literally couldn't do nothing. She completely manhandled this monster into the ground and blasted him out the window that far. Even when the bigger version of the monster tried to pull up on her later, she's literally able to hold off different pieces of this same being and rip off parts of its limbs. Same right here and right there. Both of their limbs. Same with this big thing. Even ripping his face apart like that to lift this entire car in the air and they get launched. Even when they tried to do some parasitic stuff to have the thing in her leg, she could use the force to get it out anyway and rip this nasty piece of crap out of her own freaking leg. She doesn't even have to have visual sight on you to blast you in an omnidirectional attack like this, even from behind. This is like a flashback scene of the older actor playing her, but she literally was able to blast so hard. She blasted him so hard, it created a doorway to the upside down. This is kind of the reason why that portal even exists in the first place. Yeah, her blast power is very destructive. This is where that portal was created. When it comes to telepathy type stuff too, because she can, if she decides to go in a deep state of concentration, she can kind of spy on you, mindscaping. She can kind of see what you're doing or talking about. I guess her psionic realm where she can spy on you without them seeing her. She can just enter this dark realm like this and spy on you psionically like this. I would say it's totally believable for her to be able to at least to blast apart a building or blast something apart that's supporting all this weight or something like that of that such, bit by bit, one could say. I mean, she's the one that technically defeated Vecna before he was really actually known as Vecna, the big bad of the latest season, in a tug of war type of thing when he wasn't even like considered Vecna at the point. Keep in mind, she did this while she was younger. Probably her toughest challenge out the entire show though. She powered through anyway while she was young, helpless and everything. There is some interesting quotes on how they compared 11's power to a freaking missile.
For intercontinental ballistic missiles, a fancy bomb. To hold something much more powerful than a missile. You.
Was he telling the truth or not? I mean, it don't seem no exaggeration. It's like the military was scared of her, so they imply she's much more powerful than a missile. Are they talking about at her fullest potential? She's strong enough to lift a 5-ton tank made of all this steel in the air.
She lifted a 10,000-pound tank,
The main enemy of this saga gets stronger as time goes by.
When one kills, he doesn't simply kill. He consumes. That he has grown in strength.
Big doors like this can't contain her, even confirmed by the doctor himself.
And there's nothing I can do to stop you from forcing open that door.
Then proceeds to doing so about the door with her blast power like she said she would. You can get an idea of what kind of door it was here. Nah, she literally has the force. You ain't about to just backstab her like that. Especially if you try to imprison her. It just ain't gonna go well for you. Yep. Her range seems to be increasing. Like, even if you're far away in sniper distance, she can still do this to a helicopter, even spinning the helicopter around, and just take it down, pulling it to the ground, literally. That's what happens if you try to snipe her. But what do you guys think? How strong do you think 11 is? Do you think she's going to get stronger? She's going to have to by next season because that dude just keeps getting stronger, Vecna. Yeah, he's still not gone. Yeah, unfortunately. Who knows what the future holds? We got to see her finish this guy off, though, in the final season, though. But all of this could be just me. How strong do you think 11 is? Respect her. Also, thank you everyone that has taken the time to donate to the channel. Helps out a lot, believe it or not. Respect. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.